Hey YouTube, it's Will from Will Development. And this is my 285th weekly update. These numbers are getting pretty high, honestly. I remember when I was doing like weekly update, 170, and now we're at 280 something. I have to do the math on that to see at what point we're at pretty ridiculous amounts of time, but it's going to be one hell of a journey when I'm finally at a level where I look back and it's just like, my God, So I can't wait to get there. It's been exciting. I want to thank all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. I have some exciting stuff coming up this year. I've got a Stone Masterclass video series that is still in the works, still being made. I had a bunch of stone orders in this big long mess. I don't want to really get into here, but long story short, I had issues with supplies, so I got a couple months behind on some orders, and stone orders take priority over this, which doesn't make me any kind of money. This is just a hobby sort of thing, you know what I mean? So this is not priority, so bear with me with that kind of stuff. I've got a couple reviews I need to do, listed, that I have to work on. And probably some other neat little videos I'm going to start working on with some of the local strongmen that I know. Sorry, I got a little bit of a mucus thing going on right now. I still feel fine. I don't feel great, which means I'm not getting sick. That's how I know I'm getting sick. When I start feeling like a little sniffly, but I feel really energetic, that means I'm getting sick. And I don't feel that, so it's just little sniffles right now. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for me to talk about my week. Unlike last week with that awesome 200-pound press PR, finally push press from the floor on an axle, I didn't have any crazy good... Well, I guess technically I had a PR. I hit 3 reps of 195. Not sequentially. I hit one set where I cleaned it and I hit it for 1. And then I went for the second one and I just couldn't do it. And honestly, it's because my wrist wraps were just so tight. My hands were numb. And I just couldn't position the bar properly because my hands wouldn't cooperate anymore. So I actually took the wrist wraps off, went for it again, and got my double that I wanted at 195. So that felt awesome to be hitting those kinds of reps, especially without assistive gear other than elbow sleeves. Which honestly, I only wear elbow sleeves just because they do help a little bit of the spring out of the bottom. But once you get about here, maybe even here, they stop doing anything. So right there out of the bottom, they'll give you a little bit of spring. If they give me 5 pounds on my lift, I'd be surprised. Let's put it that way. But they do feel more comfortable in terms of just keeping the joint warm, which I don't have much elbow. I've never had elbow issues, luckily, thankfully. I've had shoulders, goddamn hips, hip problems, back problems. Never elbows. My upper body's always been very resilient. Which is good. I need that. Anyway, in the case of log press, not so much. I managed to get up to a 6 rep max at 160. A single at 170. I wanted to go much heavier than this on log, but the dog just wouldn't hunt. And I decided to do some rep work at 140, and man, even that was just god awful. I wanted a double at 170, and it just wouldn't happen on log. Basically come to the conclusion that I'm going to continue training log, but leading up to this competition, I've sort of let go of the idea that I'm going to be able to press that 240, and I'm going to put all my focus into the axle, where I actually do have a mild chance of getting at least a rep there. The log is probably just a little beyond my reach right now, and that's okay. Nothing pushes me or pushes a person more than signing up for a comp. If you want to get stronger, and I mean really get stronger, sign up for a comp, because it puts this fire under you that, and I'm not saying every training session is going to be great, I'm not even saying every rep is going to be great, but there's going to be something in the back of your head now where it's like, oh shit, I don't want to go to this comp and totally bomb out in front of a bunch of people. You know what I mean? And now that I've done a couple comps, this will be my second comp, but my third comp where people actually know who I am, I definitely don't want to bomb out, because now I'm competing next to guys that I know, and I would actually like to challenge them at something. I feel like I got a chance to do that on the yoke and farmers. I feel like I've got a hell of a chance of actually not getting last on that event. because I'm surprisingly fast with weight on my back or in my hands. So hopefully I can carry that through and have a good showing there. Again, log, not the greatest day on earth. Squats was pretty cool. We got a new 8 rep max at 265. I did 260 for 6. And I remember that was tough, and I did 265 for 8. And these are high bar squats, by the way. I'll be doing a heavy set of low bars next week on Tuesday, looking to get somewhere in the 350 range for a double. That would be very cool if I could manage that. We'll see. Not going to push anything. I'm a little too close to comp to injure myself, so we'll play it by ear the day of. You know, when I got my 335 for 3 or 4, that was very much so just a sort of, everything felt really good. I just pushed it. And when I do my test weeks, I do low bar squats, also in flats. I prefer to low bar squat in flats. High bar, safety squat bar, front squat, I prefer those in heeled shoes. And I only use it's a 1/2 inch heel instead of an inch heel. Or no, I'm sorry, it's a 1 inch heel instead of a 2 inch heel, like a lot of Olympic shoes. Gonna do a review on those eventually too. Haven't owned them long enough to really comment on longevity, so you know the drill here. If I don't own it for a year, I'm not going to talk about them. Then talked about Axel already, how I got my 195 for the double. Was awesome. Set of 8 at 155. A couple sets of 8 at 155 actually. For some rep work, completely raw, which is cool because yes, it's push press, but it's still moving good weight. Right now I have to push press because that's the movement I'm going to be using in the comp. So I'm practicing how I'm competing. And that's the smartest thing to do right now. Once I get into off season, which won't be till after May, June, July, August, September. Cool, then I'll have at least 3 months before my next comp, potentially next comp in the Scorcher. I'd like to do that show again. It was a good show. And that was in September last year. I'm assuming it's going to be August, September this year. So I'll have at least 3 months off. I'll go back to strict pressing. Most, I would say 85 to 90% of all of my reps will be strict press reps. Because I really feel like the strict pressing has given me the ability to really finish out the rep no matter what. Like, I can use very minimal leg drive and still get a very large push just because of all the push pressing I've done. And some technique changes too over the times here, so it's one of those things. It's all about progress, right? Just getting better, changing things here and there, and tweaking till you find what works best for you, that sort of thing. And then deadlifts tonight. I actually left a lot in the tank. Went up to 365 for 4. Really felt like I could have done 385, another 20 pounds for 4, but I just kept it there and did rep work, sets of 6 at 275 raw, which I actually did feel those, to be fair. But the top sets, I didn't quite feel all that. I felt like I had some in the tank. I'm training tomorrow with a couple other competitors, so I figured I would keep a little bit in the tank and be smart about it because I'm going to put some heavy shit tomorrow. We're going to be doing heavy stone loads and a little bit more heavier press work. I'll probably do some reps, plural, at 200 on the axle, maybe even go a little higher, we'll see. And then we'll be running a heavy yoke. We're probably going to go up to 650 on yoke. At least 600, I think, and then on farmers we'll probably be doing 230 to 240 per hand. Probably 240 because we got to be doing 275 for the comp. So, and then some bag throws too. Which tonight I did bag throws. That's another reason I didn't go quite as heavy on my deadlifts because I was doing supersetting my sets of 4, and I would run outside and do 4 bag tosses. Just to do some more work on the movement, and it tends to be a relatively posterior chain heavy movement because you're trying to really explode through the hips, contract the glutes very quickly to pop the bag out of the holes. So I figure any extra movement I can do on that is a good thing. It's a good thing. And well, I'd say that's about it. We're about 3 weeks out right now. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm all the right emotions I should be. And I can't wait to get out there and do my best and just, look at what I need to improve on. I know right now mostly all I need to improve on is just general strength. I'm okay at a lot of the movements. It's just right now just putting on more strength, which in the last 2 months or so I've put on a lot of strength. I just need to remember that when I come off of this, how strong I actually am, and just continue forward, because I'm getting close to numbers I've never touched before. I mean, especially on pressing, I've never done 200 before, so it's like that was this ceiling I always had in my head that I never, that was the goal for the longest time, and now it's like, well, now the ceiling has to be ridiculous. And that's where we're at. So I just need to keep that in mind. It's a big hurdle for me, but I've got new plans going into the next training block, and we're just going to see how we do, and do our best with everything. That's all I can do. And try to stay injury free. Hips and back have been feeling pretty good lately. Try not to jinx that, but so far been feeling pretty solid, and I've been pretty happy with my recovery on them. Other than that, look forward to my TWO video, my 2 video, the week of video, coming out on Wednesday. And thank you all for subscribing and your support. Look forward to next week, and if you don't, then what's your excuse?